The Complimentary Breakfast.
Rian, I know you foolishly took a bet on the World Cup. You failed. You picked Argentina. A very, very rash mistake instead of Germany, the obvious outcome winners. And now you're going to cook down a one-pot wonder meal for all of her family. And I'm here to give you some professional advice from a home cook to another home cook. Number one, wash your hands before you go to the kitchen. Number two, wear an apron because you're going to make a mess, not just of the kitchen, but also of yourself. Number three, leave yourself plenty of time, at least an hour and a half to do this recipe I'm going to suggest to you, because then you're going to have a bit of time to relax and have a glass of wine and talk to your three guests. I'm a big fan of old school recipes, and I picked one from you from my first book, and it's very, very simple. What we're going to do is we're going to make a braise of chicken thighs and top it with mashed potato, which you're going to put under the grill. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to take 1.5 kilos of chicken thighs that are going to be off the bone. You're going to flour those lightly, so you're going to get a Ziploc plastic bag, put in about half a cup of flour, throw your chicken thighs into that bag, shake it around, the thighs get coated in flour, olive oil in a big heavy stock pan, and then you're going to turn the heat up, you're going to get the olive oil hot, and you're going to brown the chicken thighs on both sides in that pot. Very, very simple. Okay, when you've done that, take the thighs out of the pot, leave them onto one side, pour away any kind of excess oil. Then I need you to put in there 2 onions. I need to chop them up quite fine. I need you to fry those onions until they get soft and translucent, about 5 minutes. I need you, when they've softened, to throw in a couple of garlic cloves you just crushed and chopped up. Let those garlic cloves cook for about a minute, and then you're going to throw in a can, this is your secret weapon, a can of tomato soup, large can of tomato soup, half a cup of dry sherry, and you're just going to stir that around the bottom of the pan with a wooden spoon. With a wooden spoon, you're going to scrape off any delicious brownie bits off the edge and the side of the pan. You're then going to put your chicken thighs back in, and you're going to put that casserole with a lid on it into the oven for about an hour. Now, we will have, of course, done the most important thing, which is to preheat the oven to 180 degrees before you started cooking. So that's your base recipe, all right? So that's pretty good. You've got an hour now to cruise. In that hour, you're going to do one thing. You're going to cook mashed potato. Now, this shouldn't be too hard for you, but there are a few essential things to know about mashed potato. Number one, pick a floury, white flesh potato. Buy one, this is really important, buy one which has been washed so the skin is clean. Peel the mashed potato, keep those peelings on one side. So essential rules about your mashed potato. Number one, very, very important. Make sure that you buy washed potatoes that have a white flesh, kind of like what we call a floury potato. Peel the potato, keep the peelings. Cut the potato into 4 pieces, put it in cold water over a medium heat in a pan with a lid. Bring the potatoes in the water up to the boil, cook for about 30 minutes until you can put a knife in and they slip off the knife. Then drain the potatoes, that's great. While you're doing this, you're going to take all those potato peelings, you're going to put them in a saucepan. What you're going to do is you're then going to take 2 cups of milk and pour them on top of the potato peelings, and you're going to put that over a low heat. And the milk is going to simmer with those potato peelings. So much of the flavour of the potato is in the skin. So what you're doing in that milk is you're sucking out the flavour of the potato. You're also sucking out some of the starch from the potato. So when you come to draining that milk, so you've got basically about a cup of hot milk and no peelings in there, that milk's going to be starchy and potato and taste delicious. So then you come to making your mashed potato. You have your drained potato in a pan, you mash it with a masher or use a potato ricer, pour in your milk little by little, mashing it till you get quite a thick mashed potato. Now, that's it, simple. You've got your mash, you've got your casserole, you probably about the same time, they're coming about the same time. You now take the casserole out of the oven, take the lid off, lay the mashed potato on the top, Sprinkle over a few little bits of chopped bits of butter, put in the oven for 10 minutes until the top of the mashed potato goes lovely and crispy and golden and delicious. So when you then come to eat that chicken casserole, you get a big spoon, you go down, you get a lovely spoon of crunchy golden mashed potato with all those intense earthy potato flavours, the slight tang of the tomato and the sherry, which has made the chicken super tender, so when you rest your fork against it, it just falls apart. And the brilliant thing about this recipe, because I know you're a man who likes to not take too big risks, you always make the mashed potato in advance and take it cold to Diane's house so you're ready to roll. You'll find it's a little bit easier to layer the mashed potato when it's cold across that casserole rather than when it's hot. If you're going to do that, you're going to take that shortcut. Remember to make sure that when you take the casserole out of the oven, it has the potatoes warmed all the way through, because they won't like it if the mashed potatoes got a kind of Arctic tundra layer underneath that golden crust. There you are. Lots of information, lots of tips. Follow them and you will, for once, cook a delicious meal that will have all of Dan's family loving you sick. Thank you.